You are primarily, almost exclusively, a baritone
Indeed,
saxophonist.
indeed.
So how did you get into exclusive bari playing?
Well, I had no idea that it was exclusive when I started playing baritone. It was the summer before I started sixth grade that I even saw one. And I saw a guy, his name was Montrell Smith, and he's a little older than I am, and he had one at this music camp that we were all at. And I saw him play it, and he played great, you know. And so the next school year, I got access to one, and kind of made sure I had access to one ever since then. I just enjoyed the range of it, and I'm not sure of this, but I'm told that my speaking voice is also a baritone. So I feel like maybe there's some internal resonance that kind of encourages me to do it. But I just always enjoyed the sound of it and the range of the instrument. And there's just like an endless spectrum of sonic possibilities that I don't really find on other saxophones. So that's why I play the baritone.
Right on. And for your baritone, if you don't mind just sharing what equipment you use.
It's a low B flat gold baritone saxophone made by P. Marion Saxophones in Taiwan. And the mouthpiece I play is a Jody Jazz DV number 10. And the reeds that I use are Rico Reserve number 3 or Rico Jazz Select number 4 hard filed. I find that playing baritone requires, maybe more so than other saxophones, a degree of percussion in the attack, especially with playing in sections. And with most reeds, I found that I could either get it or not. And I think with reserves and the Jazz Select, I'm able to kind of turn it on and off when I need it. It's just always been kind of a goal for me to not have to think about the stuff I play, because as saxophone players, I think we tend to be gearheads. And for a while, I thought it was cool to be like that. And then after I got older and had many other things I had to be concerned with, and I didn't have time to constantly be switching mouthpieces and horns and reeds and neck straps and different cases and different, you know,
So
just
you just
ligatures.
gravitated towards what was most comfortable?
I mean, the first saxophone reeds I ever played were Rico. And growing up, just about everybody I knew played Rico. And I played Rico almost exclusively until I moved to New York close to 10 years ago, and I tried a few other things and ended up playing Rico again. And I got so comfortable playing on what I originally ended up playing on that I was truly able to stop thinking about it. I just, you know, I say if I'm going someplace and I know it's really hot, you know, humid, then I'll bring out the Rico Jazz Select. Otherwise, I'll bring out the Reserve. And that's it. I think complaining about reeds is learned behavior. Because as long as people have been complaining about reeds, people have been making great music on whatever was available. So, I mean, personally, I don't believe in complaining anyway, but I think when people say, well, you know, reeds aren't good anymore, or I couldn't find any reeds. I think there's one element or another that's less receptive to that combination that you have being more or less cohesive. But I don't want to say there are no bad reeds, but I think there are more ill-conceived combinations than there are bad reeds. So if you just do a little research and see, I find which reeds were used in making a particular mouthpiece, which mouthpieces were used in making a particular saxophone. I mean, those are the things that the people who created these products have to work with. Mm-hmm. And so if you found that, you know, like I happen to know that when they make P. Marriott saxophones, there are some Jody Jazz mouthpieces in the shop. I don't know which came first, but I know they're there. And I know that Jody makes these great products, but he's been playing Rico Reeds way longer than he's been making mouthpieces. So those mouthpieces correspond to what he's been doing this whole time anyway. And I happen to have found that that same combination works quite well for me. So don't complain, just practice.